A PSA from Instacart. It's Sunday, 5 p.m. You had a non-stop weekend. You're running on empty, and so is your fridge. You're in the trenches of the Sunday scaries. You don't have it in you to go to the store, but this is your reminder. You don't have to. You can get everything you need delivered through Instacart so that you can get what you really need. More time to do whatever you want. Instacart. For one less Sunday scary, we're here.
On today's Smart 7, Reeves under pressure over inflation, MI5 Chief issues security warning, and much more. It's Friday 17th of October, it's National Pasta Day, and happy birthday Matthew McFadden.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
Chancellor Rachel Reeves was in Washington on Thursday at an International Monetary Fund and World Bank annual meeting. She's gearing up for the autumn budget next month, and on Monday she'll find out from the Office for Budget Responsibility how much room to manoeuvre she will have. The government is focused on reducing energy bills and could potentially cut the VAT rate on energy to help drive down inflation. The Chancellor herself had appeared to confirm taxes on the wealthy, but not a wealth tax on Wednesday, and she spoke to the BBC in Washington about the UK's inflation rate.
We do currently have the highest inflation in the G7, but it is a long way off the inflation that we saw under the previous government. But do we need to do more to bring down inflation? Absolutely we do.
Tory Shadow Chancellor Mel Stride, who seems to have a short memory when it comes to the previous Tory government, was busy accusing the Chancellor of being the one responsible for the current inflationary spike.
We haven't got the kind of growth that the economy needs, and that's because of the decisions that the government took. Talking down the economy, borrowing lots of money, spending lots of money, stoking inflation, and all of this is a major drag on the economy.
The collapse of a so-called spy case last week has seen controversy rumble on as the Tories point fingers at Labour and the Director of Public Prosecutions. Prime Minister Keir Starmer has been clear he had nothing to do with the failure, that he only became aware of the issue late on, and that he has published witness statements from the case. It's also largely due to Boris Johnson and Rishi Sunak's failure to label China a national security threat, which undermined the prosecution's use of the Official Secrets Act. Cabinet Office Minister Chris Ward tried to bring an end to the matter in the Commons on Thursday.
This government's first priority will always be national security and keeping this country safe. We wanted this case to proceed. I'm sure all members of the House did, and I know you did too, Mr. Speaker. We are all profoundly disappointed it did not.
In an unusual move, the head of MI5, Sir Ken McCallum, also weighed in, emphasising that the UK is facing an escalating threat, not just from China. He says there has been a 35% increase in espionage cases.
In 2025, MI5 is contending with more volume and more variety of threat than I've ever seen. Total security is, as we know, impossible. But still, we continue to strive for it, night and day.
The Israeli Prime Minister continued to crank up the pressure on Hamas on day 4 of the ceasefire in Gaza. He spoke at a memorial in Jerusalem for victims of the October 7th attacks by Hamas and warned that Israel is prepared to fight terrorism with full force. There is growing unhappiness in Israel that Hamas have so far only returned 9 bodies of hostages when they are due to return 28. Hamas says the recovery is complex and made more difficult by the destruction of Gaza, but Netanyahu was in no mood for patience.
There will never be forgiveness for those animals, the brutes who attacked us with such barbarism on the 7th of October 2 years ago.
Friday sees Donald Trump meet with Ukrainian President Zelensky and a delegation to discuss the long-promised Tomahawk missiles for Ukraine. Coincidentally, Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin had a call on Thursday, and the pair are now expected to meet for another summit in Budapest, with Trump suggesting it could be in 2 weeks. Thursday also saw Trump admit that he authorised CIA activities in Venezuela, where the US have been carrying out strikes on suspected drug boats, killing at least 27 people in what UN human rights experts are calling extrajudicial executions. The Venezuelan president Nicolas Maduro was trying to de-escalate the situation.
No to war. We don't want a war in the Caribbean, nor South America.
Not war, just peace.
Who speaks English here? Is that correct?
No war, just peace, and the people in the United States, please.
Still to come on today's Smart 7, in association with Metro, Ferrari Bataway Horner rumours, and Reese Witherspoon turns author. Right after this.
If you're a custodial supervisor at a local high school, you know that cleanliness is key, and that the best place to get cleaning supplies is from Grainger. Grainger helps you stay fully stocked on the products you trust, from paper towels and disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Plus, you can rely on Grainger for easy reordering, so you never run out of what you need. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome back. Thursday night saw Arsenal women in Champions League action. They were in Portugal to face Benfica, where they got a 2-0 victory. Manchester United women were also away in Spain to face Atletico Madrid, and they continued their winning start to Champions League life, winning 1-0 despite going down to 10 women. This weekend sees the US Grand Prix, live from Austin, Texas, and there were plenty of cowboy hats as the drivers turned up for Media Day. Mercedes' George Russell seemed delighted with his new contract, but Lewis Hamilton was having to bat away rumours that former Red Bull boss Christian Horner could be taking over Ferrari.
I mean, it's a little bit distracting for us as a team. Obviously, the team have made clear where they stand in terms of re-signing Fred, and Fred and I and the whole team are working really hard on the future for the team.
There's not much Reese Witherspoon can't do, it seems. She's an Academy Award, Emmy and Golden Globe winning actress, she's an acclaimed producer with her own company Hello Sunshine, and she's got her own clothing and homeware line called Draper James. Now, she's branching out into writing too, teaming up with best-selling author Harlan Coben to write a dramatic thriller called Gone Before Goodbye. She popped up with Kelly Clarkson, where talk turned to her least favourite line from the movies.
Growing up and even watching movies as I was making them, and there was always a part where the girl would turn to the guy at the moment of crisis and go, "What do we do now?"
Yeah.
I don't know a woman who would turn to a man during and be like, "What do we do now?"
A new trailer has just dropped for the thriller series The Beast in Me. It's from the team behind CIA drama Homeland, and it stars Claire Danes, along with Matthew Rhys, Brittany Snow and Natalie Morales. It follows the story of an acclaimed author played by Danes, who retreated from public life after the death of her son, but she slowly becomes fascinated by her new neighbour. He was the prime suspect in his wife's disappearance, but the truth about what happened has never emerged. It drops on Netflix on November 13th.
Hope you won't be disappointed.
By what?
The truth.
You're a lot more than people think. I think we were having a moment.
You need help, Aggie. You'd rather invent a murder than look in the mirror.
If Niall did this, I need to know.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes and we'll give you the world.
Hey, this is Jonathan Fields, host of the Good Life Project podcast. Boost Mobile reminds me of what I love, when someone reimagines what's possible. Offering reliable nationwide coverage backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. While other carriers spend millions on flashy Super Bowl ads, Boost Mobile puts those dollars towards what matters more, delivering reliable nationwide coverage at prices that make you wonder why we've been paying so much. For just $25 a month, you get unlimited service that will never go up in price, not next year, not ever. And they're so confident you'll love it, they back it with a 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. Want to see if Boost Mobile is right for you? Visit your nearest Boost Mobile store or boostmobile.com. Customers who cancel within 30 days of activation will have Boost service fees refunded, activation fees if applicable, and phone payments will not be refunded.